Okay, so you guys asked for it, and today I'll be telling you guys the best gaming monitors you can buy in 2020. I'm not even kidding. I think since I've opened up a YouTube channel talking about TVs, I've always gotten this question, and for whatever reason, I just never got around to really making this video. So at long last, it's finally done. So smack a like on this video because I'm getting to the point right now. Okay, so this is not going to be in any particular order. I'm just going to be rattling off the best monitors. So for starters, the Samsung C27HG 70QQN, at least that's the model here in the States. I would imagine you could just shorten it and call it the HG70, maybe the C27 HG70. I mean, I don't know how important the QQN part is, but that's going to be one of the best monitors you can buy this year. For me, my criteria is very specific. So it's very similar to like when I'm looking up the best TVs. You need to have deep blacks, you need to have vibrant color, things like that, right? So this TV has 1 billion shades of quantum dot color. It has HDR. Now, to be fair, HDR is a joke on PC, so I don't really hold that part seriously because honestly, HDR is extremely washed out, and Windows needs to figure it out, or maybe Nvidia, I don't know, but either way, it has HDR support, so you're good there if you wanted to, I don't know, hook up a PS4 to it or something like that, or Xbox One X or Series X or whatever, right? So it has HDR. You have over 3001 contrast ratio, so that's good for keeping those blacks deep. You have FreeSync. You have 144 hertz, 1 millisecond input lag. You have a lighting up feature that lets you kind of, create more of an ambiance to your gaming environment. You have a little bit of an articulation that you can do there to kind of adjust the positioning of it. And I mean, honestly, the only real major downside that I see is that it's curved. So not everybody is with the curved screen, and that's what I'll say there. Now, the next best gaming monitor of 2020 you can buy is going to be the Acer Predator G or CG7. Now, the reason I chose this one is because it has 1000 nits, which is rare in a monitor. It has full 4K resolution, it has 4001 contrast ratio for really deep blacks, and even better, it has a remote control, which is super rare on a monitor. I can't tell you how annoying it is to have to keep pushing around buttons on a monitor because they don't include them with remotes like TVs. You would think something so basic would be included, but it's not. And what's even better is that this has an ambilight feature that syncs with your gaming experience. So, I mean, really, that's just like a total win-win-win right there. So, yeah, I would definitely consider this at the top of anyone's list if you're looking for it. Now, unfortunately, I don't know, like, if it's really, really low with the milliseconds, but I'd imagine it'd be the standard 1 millisecond, 1 to 2 milliseconds of input lag. Nothing crazy, but again, it's still a super good win there. Now, the next monitor that I would select, this is one that I personally bought for my wife. It's the Samsung UH750. Now, this is a really tack-sharp monitor. It's very colorful, has full 4K, has FreeSync, and it does have acceptable deep black levels, but it definitely can get gray at sometimes, when watching at an angle or something like that. Now, Samsung has some technology to try to, help with different seating positions to help adjust the viewing angles, which I think is super cool. But honestly, the biggest reason I think for anyone, it isn't very expensive. Now, you're not getting some things like HDR, but honestly, as I mentioned before, HDR is a joke on PC. So if you're buying this primarily for PC usage and maybe you're not looking to hook up a console, this might make a lot of sense for a lot of people, because even though the blacks can get a little gray sometimes, we kind of expect that with computer monitors. I mean, really. But the big thing here is it's really tack sharp and very colorful, and you do have to tweak it a little bit out of the box to get it that way, but you can do that. And hey, every time I walk into my wife's office and I see her playing something on it, I'm just like, wow, that's really colorful, and the PPI is really dense. Like, those pixels are so tight and so sharp that honestly, like, my TVs don't look like that because obviously smaller screens hold better PPI, but still, it's a really nice screen. Now, next on the list is going to be the Asus ROG Swift. Now, the SKU number, I don't know if it's a SKU number, more so just a model number. It's the PG27UQ. Now, again, these are all US models. If you live in a different region, I don't really know what those would translate to. But this model has 4K, quantum dots, 384 zones of local dimming on a monitor. It has HDR 1000 G-Sync, and it is UHD certified. Now, sadly, there is no HDMI 2.1, and it is IPS, so that is something that's going to affect the black levels, though with 384 zones of local dimming on a screen that small, I could only imagine that, again, 380 zones in a 27-inch, come on, dude, like, that's ridiculous. You're going to have a really inky, deep black experience for the most part, if you see any problems at all, really. And I think it's really good because now you're at 1,000 nits and you have all the bells and whistles that you really need for next-gen gaming as far as, you know, the visual aesthetic part. Now, again, I'm pretty sure that it's built up with really low latency, like 1 millisecond input lag and things like that, but I'm not going to speculate because they didn't really say. But what I will say is this is definitely an awesome, awesome option. Now, the only downside is it's expensive. So you're going to have to shell out more money for more of the higher performing, I guess, monitors here. But again, if you're a really serious PC gamer or even console gamer that maybe sits at a desk in games, this is an extraordinarily good option. Now, the next option here for gaming monitor is not going to be a monitor, it's going to be a TV. And no, it is not the LG C10. Given the bevy of patches they've had, it just doesn't seem like a good option, and I'm not recommending it for that, especially because they don't have full bandwidth HDMI 2.1. But what I will recommend is the Vizio OLED H1 that has a beautiful quantum dot image, or quantum dot looking image, and it has a responsive 18 milliseconds of input lag, which is nothing to write home about compared to these monitors, but it is very responsive feeling, and I feel like it's a lot lower than 18 milliseconds. I'm not even joking. When you turn on the low latency mode in the pro gaming engine, it just really is super responsive and snappy. And honestly, it has support for every single HDR format, and this makes it a crazy versatile TV, right? So whether you're, you know, playing Xbox Series X and they have Dolby Vision, or you're playing something else, or maybe you want to watch a movie, you have options, and that's the key here. Now, also, with it being a TV, it comes with a remote, and it is affordable. You know, the cheapest LG C10 will still run you $1,500, dude. Like, this TV right here is going to run you $1,299. I mean, like, that's great, because for 55 inches, you're getting not only a bigger screen, but also a better looking one. Now, honestly, down the road, I fully expect somebody like HDTV Test to tell you how great the C10 is and how awful the Vizio OLED is, and people to try to prop up LG over OLED on Vizio side of things. But honestly, see it yourself and you'll see exactly what I saw. Now, this thing is glitchy. That is the problem with this. Another problem is that, honestly speaking, it's a Vizio, so your mileage may vary. You know, I don't know what the quality control looks like. I've only bought one retail unit, so my experience with Vizio, they're not typically the most reliable TVs on the planet Earth, and you might have to get some sort of warranty with it, especially with it being an OLED and it being, you know, a bright OLED. I would definitely consider buying some sort of warranty just to cover your bases, because you never know, it could burn in because of the extra brightness. Maybe Vizio didn't figure that part out yet. I don't actually know, because nobody has a long-term Vizio lying around. So with this being their first attempt, I'll say it's good, and it's an awesome gaming option, especially for people looking for HDMI 2.1. But it definitely does have its caveats. Now, these are gaming monitors that I would recommend, but as far as your professional usage, just kind of as a bonus for you guys looking for professional, I guess, workloads, the best professional gaming monitor, or gaming, see, I'm doing it again, the best professional monitor for editing or anything that you could use for professional usage, I would say just buy the Asus ProArt. The model number is PA32UCX. And that now is going to be a very expensive monitor, but it has every single color gamut you could possibly hope for, from Rec 709, DCI, P3, and even BT2020. It has HDR with 1200 nits, SDR with 600 nits, mini LED, and honestly, it has everything you need to get the colors accurate for professional video editing, cinematography, you know, photography, whatever, and that's massive, right? So if you're a professional doing serious workloads and you want image accuracy, I think this is a really awesome monitor to maybe dabble in. And maybe if you're just a gamer that likes really beautiful image quality and you don't really care about much else, maybe it's something to look at, but it comes with a hefty price tag, and I mean $3,000 $100 is a lot of money. So I would only really recommend that to the really high-end professionals. So that's what I'll say there. I really hope this list kind of helps you guys out. These are my top picks. Let me know if it helps you guys out. If you find it helpful, maybe consider subscribing. Smack a like on this video. Helps the channel grow. Thank you guys so much for watching the #1 brand in honesty. I really appreciate you guys. Until the next video, I'll see you guys later.